Love can't be tainted, but it can be distorted. And what I mean by that is you can't help that someone has created a manufactured personality and then you try to engage with that manufactured personality and it turns out to not be what you thought you were investing in, right? This is where most people have the disconnect of wanting to be in love and wanting to be open to love and wanting to be available for love, right? Because that's what love requires. It doesn't mean that you have to be a hopeless romantic to the point that you give every single person who comes into your energy a chance. It just means you're open to possibilities when it's presented to you. And if it's not the right thing, then you don't need to take it. Distortion comes in when you know that it's not what you want, you know it's not what you want to do or be with or interact with, but you find ways to convince yourself because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Now, I'm not telling anyone that they can't choose to settle. Settle is important because some of us need that foundation, some of us need that energy to work through. But some others do not want to settle. And settling to me means I don't want to just be in a connection just because it's smart financially, or I don't want to just be in a connection just because it's available. I want to be in a connection because it's genuine, because we both want to be there, and because we both want to put the energy in to sustain it. That to me is why I say genuine love cannot be tainted, because you have to know how to work through your own stuff to keep seeing yourself so that you can keep reflecting the best qualities you want on your partner so that they stay healthy enough to reflect that back on you, because it's an equilibrium, right? If I'm a healthy, positive person and we're both giving back in a way that works for us, again, negativity happens, but negativity should not be your default state of mind, right? Both are a discipline, so you can choose negative or positive, but it's up to you. What you have to do is, in that energy, is remember that love is a feeling, but it's also a choice, right? What happens in the relationship is the discipline practices, right? Being in a house and home and having kids and all this, and no disrespect to those who do, that does not mean that the relationship has a foundation of trust. It just means it has a foundation, and that's beautiful. But trust comes in with untainted love, which means I can tell you my truth unapologetically, but I'm still tactful enough to have empathy for your feelings without making you feel bad about what I'm trying to articulate, right? That is self work. I have to know how to do that. I can't expect someone to know how to do that because we say we're not mind readers. So as long as I exemplify and represent what I know I require of myself, then someone else will recognize that as that's how they need to be loved. And they will bring me genuine, untainted love because that's what I gave them. Now, if I bring them a distorted version where I get upset because they're not giving me attention, and now I come up with tactics to make them try to give me attention and to manipulate the situation and create resistance, going out of my way to create resistance just to get something. That's what the feminine energy should not do. So the feminine energy is meant to receive. If you're going out of your way to manipulate and create and make stuff happen, that's masculine energy, which can be distorted in this space and realm of what I'm talking about when it comes to manipulated manufactured love, where if I look like this, talk like this, act like this, dress like this, then this is what I'm going to get. You'll get that type of man, but you'll get an archetype of another man who's just manufactured in the same replication of what you're manufacturing. Because remember, a fake look is going to get a fake man, and a fake look on a man is going to get a fake woman. Again, if it's not your reality, don't try to make it exist. Don't try to create a world that's really not yours. Again, mouth is dry. I am not shamelessly plugging anything, I promise. I just woke up. But, anyways, I understand that there's energy that you do not want to put back out into the world, right? So, if I'm trying to be a healthy dater, then I have to make sure that my dates end as healthy as possible, even if they're not the right person. Because if I'm going around hurting people, then I'm hurting real good people who now go on and put manufactured personalities together to become someone they're not. And then they get lost in the shuffle. And then when they meet a real one, you're manufactured. And then you're like, but when I was real, you didn't want me. But you weren't real because you broke, right? Do people understand that? When I don't mean broke as finance, I mean broke like you didn't let yourself stay in your foundation, in your boundaries, in your presence, in your glory, and say, this is what I deserve, and I'm not budging until I get it. You broke your stance and went out and got yourself whatever you wanted to settle for because you were wanting it at that time. And I'm not saying it can't make you happy. but it usually doesn't make you fulfilled. And we have to be honest about that. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's some super magical partner out there for everyone. What I'm suggesting is you're on the right path when you know that you can continue doing your destiny work without being distracted by a partner who can't hold together their own emotions. Because it's important. We have to know how to both do that within the relationship for it to thrive. If one person's constantly falling apart, then you're constantly trying to put them back together. That's distorted love, right? It's not, well, I love them, so let me keep trying. Let me keep. No, no, no. If you want to, sure. No, I'm going to say this. In that type of situation, I'm going to be here for you to talk to you while you figure this out. But I can't be here at your every waking call and every text and all. No, I'm not going to give you all my energy and all the work I've done to figure things out to give it to you, and you sit on it and you don't do nothing with it for years. And you keep acting like, oh, woe is me. That's what I mean by no. But if I give you love and I give you genuine energy that's untainted, and I'm like, here's what you can try, and here's how you can look at life if you choose to look at life that way. And if you want, there's an extra door. This was the door you thought you had, but you have another door over here when you're ready for it. That's all I can provide someone when I give them love. And if they're open to it, then they're going to walk through that door with me and they're going to trust it, right? And then they're going to see through that other side, this is what real love is. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. This is what we're trying to explain. There are some men and women who understand what this looks like. They exemplified it and they know that. But when we say where are all the good ones at, we're not giving our energy away. That's what we're doing. We're preserving it. So when we go out and you see us out, that's the universe is trying to work. Be like, let me show all of my eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, right? Because the universe knows this is one of my shining babies. This is one of my good ones. And I don't mean good or bad like you're naughty and no one like. No, I mean good like someone who knows how to hold in their stand on business and not break because they're lonely or insecure or things of this nature. Again, I've been there. I've been there. And when I did it and I got off my path and I went with somebody that I shouldn't have went with, everything in my life slowed down, stopped, and it felt miserable. And I don't mean that as a dig to the people. I meant it as a dig to myself because I knew that I shouldn't have been there. I knew I shouldn't have given this situation energy. And I felt bad because I knew I was going to have to hurt that person. That's the part that gets into situationships and makes it worse and worse and worse, which is why I say, don't bring me distorted love. Know your truth. Stop lying to yourself so that when you bring me untainted, genuine love, which is here I am, all truth, all honesty, this is what it is, take it or leave it, then I can be like, yes, thank you. I will take that. Because what I don't want people to keep doing is believing that they have to fight and fight and fight for something that they do not, should not have to fight for. Love is meant to be sustained. Love is a discipline. Love is not fighting so much that there is no joy and energy around you at all, to the point that you're not even approachable, right? When we talk about that. Well, I think, no, I know that I'm not always approachable. Unfortunately, I have a permanent smile on my face, so people are always trying to talk to me, but inside I'm like, can you get away from me? Because people don't understand. Listen, I am a positive person, but that doesn't mean I want you all up in my space. Some people, they might look mean and just straight face and could be the sweetest, kindest souls, right? Because that's why we have to understand distortion is not just about features. Distortion is not just about how someone acts. Distortion is the energy that exudes around them. So when you understand that you are not manufactured by identifying as someone else's identity, then you will call in the genuine love that you deserve. May it be for others, but primarily for self. Because when you have that primary source of love for self, which is, again, self-love is inner work, it can replicate on the outside. When I tell people to like take care of your body, take care of yourself, it gets you to a state of mind of taking care of yourself, right? And then when you realize, oh, I need to take care of myself because I'm a body, and my body needs to sustain life. And in order to sustain life, I have to be as healthy as possible. That's the connective inner work. And inner work is, am I emotionally healthy? Am I spiritually healthy? Am I logically healthy? Because these are the things that help us make decisions and then go out into the actual world and do what we call reality, right? So learn how to love yourself without being tainted by others, and you will understand what distortion is and what genuine love means and looks like to you. Hope that makes sense.